So I've fed in this prompt to ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Meta AI, and Grok just to see how each one of them treat this IQ test that I threw at them. And I'm going to see these results just like you are in real time. So my question is going to be, tell me briefly, how many people use AI in the world today? This question actually has the right amount of nuance I want for this exercise. So I'm very curious to see how each of these models deal with that. If you notice, I've also added the word briefly in my prompt. I am expecting a paragraph of an answer with certain things highlighted, not more than that. So when you know exactly what you're looking for example, with this question, I know I'm looking for a number of users that are using AI in the world today. So when I'm looking for that number, it's very easy for my eyes to skim and look for that information whenever this prompt generates a response. And our minds are definitely trained this way to look for information, especially when we know what we're looking for. So that's exactly what I'm going to be taking these models through, the skimming test. So let's see how they all do at a glance. So let's look at this answer from ChatGPT with that lens. It seems to be doing a decent job, but I'm seeing all of these other numbers pop out at me. Like, even though 378 million individual users worldwide is the answer I was looking for at a glance, briefly, and maybe like a little bit of surrounding context about that data, particularly. Here I'm being given 64 million new users, the usage rate, etc. And these are things that I didn't expect to get when I used the word briefly. So overall, ChatGPT has given me the information. It's given me a lot of distracting information along with it, which I did not ask for. So let's go to Claude. And when I see Claude's answer, there are 3 paragraphs, not super easily skimmable. For this answer, I would have liked some kind of very data points, but it's not very skimmable. It has 3 paras. I see a bunch of numbers like coming at me. It says 1.7 to 1.8 billion global AI users today. I see the 378 million users in 2025. So there are a bunch of data points that are jumping at me. It's giving a lot of context also to these numbers. So they're being very careful when they present data, which I always appreciate. But again, I feel there's a lot more surrounding data than I asked for when I said briefly. So let's look at how Gemini handles it. Oh, Gemini 2 gives me 2 paragraphs and it highlights over 378 million people. And also talking about the growth rate, like tens of millions of new users expected annually. This is slightly less distracting for me than Claude, because Claude kind of gave me a bunch of citations in line. It gave me some numbers. It did tell me what was the main number I was looking for. So while the question is packed with nuance, I would expect them to lead with some stance, which ChatGPT and Gemini seem to be doing. Meta AI. So in their answer, you have like 1 starting line and 4 bullet points, and the first one summarizes their main hypothesis, which is 35.49% of people use AI tools. I like Meta's answer because it also gives perspective. It says that this number could be because devices have AI in it, all of that. So if I skim through this, I'm satisfied with what Meta says. Wow, so this is Grok's answer. Skimmability wise, great. It has only 4 data points, 2 years and 2 numbers, which was very easy to skim and correlate with at a glance. It says by 2025 it is this number, and by 2030 it's going to be this number, which makes it very easy to read at a glance. I'm also not surprised that Grok is doing this, because in the positioning, in my previous video, we looked at the websites of all of these models, and what I found on the Grok website is that it's the most straightforward. It seems to make promises of being unfiltered and kind of just giving you direct answers. And in with this prompt especially, with something that I asked that kind of warrants a factual answer, it pretty much delivers on that promise. So Grok seems to be on brand in that regard, but it was very interesting to see how all of these engines kind of deal with this question. I think that ChatGPT added a little bit more noise. I feel that's because it's also prompting you to ask more questions. So it's prompting you to kind of look at the data in different ways and ask more questions and engage more with it. So it's prompting that engagement with you. Claude, I found for something so factual, I found this answer quite wordy. Gemini, I found it pretty search resulty, where it gave you that number and kind of gave you like a justification for it. Meta AI seemed to be kind of casting one net, giving you feels of the answer but not really giving you the answer. But it kind of says that this is the perspective. We know that phones now have it. We know that so many devices already have it in some way. So that's what's contributing to this number. I appreciate this answer, but Grok was the most simple and straightforward so far. So yeah, that's it for the first prompt. In case you've made it this far, do check out my previous video where I compare the websites of all of these AI assistants to see what are they communicating about the products they're building. Until my next AI adventure, this is Hamza signing off.